Speaking of stress, has anyone been to a job interview lately? They ask you the most ridiculous questions during an interview, don't they? If you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be? Um, Christmas tree? Interesting answer. Why? Because I'm only really useful for a couple of days out of the whole year? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? In a mirror? What is that, a riddle? Now, sometimes when you're applying for a job, they'll give you a questionnaire that has two-part questions that you can only answer yes or no to. But sometimes there are questions that might need a little more explanation. For example, do you consider yourself patient or easy to manipulate? Yes or no? Do you like spending time with family or find yourself driving recklessly through school zones? Yes or no? Have you ever borrowed something from someone else and forgot to give it back? Or ever been convicted of beating up a nun? Yes or no? Now, I really don't do well with interviews because I'm not very good when I'm put on the spot. Like, even the simplest of questions seem like math equations when I'm put on the spot. Like, someone will come up to me and say, "Doug, how old are you?" And my mind completely goes blank, and I can't answer. I have to think, okay, 2012 minus 1978, last 1 year if it's before the month that I was born. I don't know. It's just not that easy for me. Like, I had a guy come up to me and ask me a direct question, which made me feel really uncomfortable. It was, how do you phrase it? "Oh, can I see your license and registration, please?" I'm actually one of the few people out there that would feel relieved if someone told me, "You have the right to remain silent." Thank goodness, I was afraid you were going to ask me how I feel. There are actually certain direct questions that you're not allowed to ask. Like, I remember when I was little, someone came up to my mom to do a survey, and they asked how old she was. And she was rather offended by the question. She said, "My age is my business." Of course, I chimed in with, "Yeah, she's been in business for 36 years. That'd make a great Hallmark card, wouldn't it? Does anyone else here get stressed out when you have to buy a card for someone? Now, they have all the cards separated by sections, but there's not always a definitive line between each section, which can be confusing. Like, I was looking for a birthday card for my dad, so I found one. "Dad, thanks for all your hard work and dedication over the years." Looks good. Open it up. "Love, your little princess." What? Oh, birthday card from your daughter. Now, what's more stressful than picking out a card is what to write in the card. Do you ever start writing in the card without really knowing what you're going to say, and then find yourself stuck halfway through a sentence? That happens to me all the time. Like, I'll be writing something down, then I'll have to spend the next 15 minutes trying to create a sentence using the words that I've already committed to. "Dear brother, you are such a great brother that I wish the world wish the world wide web wish the World Wide Web was as quick as my ability to think of reasons why I'm grateful for you." Then I start thinking I'm so clever until the moment that the person is actually reading the card, and I realize that the sentence didn't really make as much sense as I initially thought it did. "Oh, thanks for the card. Dear brother, you're such a great brother that I wish the World Wide Web was as quick as my ability to think of reasons that I'm grateful for you." You couldn't have just stuck with what they wrote and signed your name underneath it?